Well, welcome everybody to the launch of the new revitalized farmers market. My name is Kim Ferreira and I'm the director of Mass Emotion New Bedford. I first would like to start off and say many thank yous to several people throughout the city who've made this project possible and successful. First, I really would like to acknowledge the Mass Emotion team. If Julia and Stephanie would please come up here. They are the other half of Mass Emotion. They have worked many hours, and especially in the last 2 months when I've been off on maternity leave, they have really stepped up and they've just done a phenomenal job at getting this project started and getting the farmers market ready to go last month. I'd like to thank Mayor Mitchell and the mayor's office. They've provided a tremendous amount of support, assistance, and guidance. Christina Connolly specifically, who probably has had about 1,000 of my emails since the fall regarding this project. Many city departments have come together to make this project possible as well. We have the health department, the tourism department, who sponsored the great music today, our Parks and Rec, our Department of Public Infrastructure, our Department of Fleet and Facilities Management, our Traffic Commission, and City Council. They've all played a tremendous role, again, at making sure that this project has come together. I'd also like to thank SEMAP, our Southeastern Massachusetts Agricultural Partnership. Of course, our farmers and our vendors, if they were not here, we would not be here. The University of Massachusetts Extension Nutrition Program, who has been providing volunteer services and cooking demonstrations at some of our markets. All of our organizations and volunteer tables, we appreciate you supporting the market and having a presence here. And also I'd like to recognize Paul Jacobson, who is here. He is the Executive Officer for the Department of Health and Human Services, who also represents the Let's Move, as New Bedford is a Let's Move city. So just to give you a little background of the work that we've been doing over the past few months, many of you may know Mass Emotion New Bedford is a Department of Public Health initiative. The City of New Bedford has been funded since 2009, and the goal of Mass Emotion is really to get our residents healthier. And through that, we've been working on a variety of initiatives that focus on healthy eating and active living. So one area of focus is to try and increase consumption of fruits and vegetables in New Bedford through a means of local and fresh foods. So since the fall of 2014, we've been working on the revitalization of our 3 farmers market, specifically to implement an EBT system that would not only increase access to residents who have credit card and debit card, but also to increase access to the 30% of residents that participate in SNAP. SNAP is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, formerly known as food stamps. We are extremely grateful for the farmers that have been participating in our markets. You know, they were the ones that were open to this change and have provided input throughout this entire process. Some additional changes that we have made with the market is we are here. The downtown site has changed. It went from the library to the beautiful Custom House Square, which we felt would provide a more central location to all the events and activities that are downtown, as well as providing the opportunity for growth, which we have grown quite a bit. Just to note, our other 2 markets are Klasky Common, which is Saturdays from 9 to 1, and Brooklawn Park, which you would enter the market on the Ashley Boulevard entrance. That is Thursdays from 2 to 6. We have increased our vendors tremendously. In the past, it was particularly just produce. Now you can visit our markets and find meat, eggs, baked goods, and jams and jellies. We've went from vendors of 5 to up to 12, so we've made a really big impact in terms of the amount of diversity we're providing at the markets. We've also branded the market. Thanks to the Boston University Ad Lab students. They designed our logo for our farmers market, so we appreciate the work they've done. We've also done a lot of marketing and promotion citywide and throughout the region. Another big part of this success was that we hired a market assistant. Unfortunately, David had a family emergency and was not able to attend today, but he mans all of our markets, does the transaction, and he also provides a great amount of support and technical assistance not only to the vendors and farmers but also to the customers. And Dawn, who is our intern, has been providing some resources as well. So we thank you, Dawn, for your volunteerism. Like I mentioned before, we've also had the addition of organizations locally who have provided some booths, and we've also had cooking demonstrations just as a means of other ways to get residents here. So it's not just a place to get food, but a place to also visit. Most recently, through a grant, we are going to be working with community health workers who are going to be providing some educational sessions throughout the city for the remaining of the market. They are going to be reaching our housing, our community health centers, and other large pockets of the city, and they're going to be informing our residents that the markets exist, how to use the EBT machine, and just some general tips on healthy living. So as you see, we've made a lot of progress in a very, very short period of time. So with that, I would like to introduce Mayor Mitchell.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Kim. So, you know, I had these prepared remarks. I think you just said it all, so I just throw these away. No, really, understand that Kim is still officially on maternity leave right now, and so she just swooped right in and just let it rip up here and did a fabulous job that she customarily does. And you know, look, this is a lot of work went into this farmers market 2.0. We had a very successful farmers market up in front of our main library, and this one is the newfangled one, bigger and better than ever, in part because of a couple of real significant programming changes. One of them was, as Kim pointed out, this farmers market now takes EBT cards, and that makes it accessible to a very larger segment of our population, and that's great. It gives more folks, especially folks who are more needy, access to good food, good healthy food, the kind of food, frankly, that I should be eating more of myself. Absolutely. So thank you, Jason, for that. But farmers markets thrive in larger cities, and mid-sized cities like New Bedford and smaller cities are starting to pick them up, and it makes all the sense in the world that we do this here, because New Bedford is the urban center and one of the more productive agricultural regions in the Northeast. Bristol County, the agricultural output of Bristol County and Plymouth counties are among the highest in the northeastern United States, and it's not just cranberries, and it's not just corn, it's a lot of stuff. And of course, we in New Bedford know a little bit about fish too, and that's a big part of the farmers market as well. So there's a lot of room for upside here, and so we are big supporters of this. We need to spread the word about this market. We're very proud that it's here in Custom House Square, a public space that we completed a couple of years ago that has been really embraced by the community as we had hoped. Lots of folks to thank, so Kim and her team, Stephanie and Julia and everybody else who's pitched in. Pauline Hamill, Director Emeritus, Emerita, has come back to grace us with her presence, but she got Mass in Motion kicked off here in the city a few years ago, and Kim ably took the baton from her. We've had great support from our City Council. Joe Lopes, former City Council President, current Ward 6 City Councilor, is here, who's been a big supporter of Mass in Motion. Deborah Coelho, who is all about supporting neighborhoods, all about supporting these kinds of initiatives, and has been such a stalwart in both respects on the City Council, is also here. We really appreciate Deborah's presence as well. Lots of great stuff going on. This is the middle of, and this is really another indication of New Bedford's progress, especially the downtown's progress. We really do want to position the downtown as the urban core, the urban center of the entire region, and that means including all the farmland across the region. So this is where probably 150 years ago, farmers from right where they are now and the neighboring communities brought their goods to sell, and we're bringing a little bit of that back. This is going back to the future in a way. So we're very that just adds another dimension to the appeal of our downtown. And as I said, there's nothing but upside. So you get a farmers market, you get loud music too for that. You never know what's going to come up. We plan that. But really, I thank you. I thank everybody. I think Jason's. You want to introduce Jason? Do that. Without any further ado, I'll let you do that since you've taken over as the master of ceremonies. But anyway, thank you for everybody for coming out. This is a really great initiative, and as I said, and one other thing, I just wanted to thank a couple of other department heads: Brenda Weiss from Health, Mary Raposa from Parks and Recreation, Scott Durkee, Ken Ramos from our Energy team, all at work here making it happen. So. Let's keep it going, everybody. Let's grow this thing. This thing will grow if we get out and let everybody know about it. So let's make that happen. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Mayor Mitchell. And now I would like to introduce Jason Wentworth with SEMAP, who has a few words to say.
First of all, he may say that he doesn't eat a lot of fresh vegetables, but if you've ever played basketball with him and had to guard him in the low post, you know he's eating his spinach. So a lot of elbows there. My name is Jason Wentworth. I'm with the Southeastern Massachusetts Agricultural Partnership, and we're a nonprofit organization that works to support farmers across Bristol, Plymouth, and Norfolk counties. There are about 1,700 farms in those three counties alone. About 700 plus in Bristol County, of all varying sizes. And knowing the geography of our region, we're out all the time supporting farmers through our technical programs, education, connecting them with people who are interested in local food. Also, part of our mission, our mandate, is to promote local food access to underserved communities. And frankly, when Kim approached me about potentially having SEMAP work to support the market and be a financial liaison with SNAP benefits, that really was part of our mission. So it really fit, and we're really happy to be a part of that, supporting both the farmers and also making sure that people continue to have greater access to fresh foods. I grew up in Malden, which is a city north of Boston, and very similar. My neighborhood was very similar to New Bedford. I played in the abandoned lots of the Converse factory. Probably got a few, unsavory chemicals on me. And my experiences in agriculture when I was young were the Italian neighbors and their grapevines. When I moved down to this area, it was quite eye-opening, and I think more city residents should realize that we have essentially bread baskets right surrounding them, and if they can't get to the farms, then I think the farms should come to them. So I'm really happy to be a part of that effort, and continue to come here and shop and spend your money. And I want to present Mayor Mitchell with our first 2015 food guide, right hot off the press.
Nice. This is all good for
Yep. So there are lists of farms and markets and other ancillary businesses that support agriculture across the region. So we have a table right there. If anybody wants to pick up, Kendra Murray is our staffer. Kendra, can you wave hello? Kendra Murray is our program coordinator, and we'll be happy to provide you with a copy. And if we run out for some reason, if there's a rush, we're certain to mail one to you. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
Nice job.
All right,
Nice job, man.
Can I now have Michael King and Scott Peet? They are a couple of our farmers who are participating in the market. They'd like to share a few words and express their satisfaction with the market and their experience.
I'm Scott Peets from Peets Farm. We're a veteran-owned, family-run farm in Dartmouth. We're all pasture-raised animals, no GMOs or chemicals or any kind used. And although I farm in Dartmouth, I grew up here in New Bedford, so I was born and raised here my whole life. About 5-6 years ago, I started getting interested in food and where it came from, and I decided what best to do for my community than provide local quality food, nutrient-dense food. And so when I got asked to do the New Bedford's Farmers Market, it fit right into my mission and what I wanted to do and why I started farming. And so everybody's been great. We had great support from all the staff and stuff, the Board of Health, dealing with all of us with new stuff, selling poultry and stuff at the market. Everybody did really, really good, and it made an easy transition for us. And all the customers are definitely taking advantage of SNAP benefits and using the credit cards. So the system is working, and like everybody's saying, we need to grow it more and just keep it going. So thanks, everybody.
So it's kind of interesting, Scott mentioned, I don't know if you heard that he's a veteran farmer. I actually met Scott online when he was still serving over in Afghanistan. I answered an ad for a farmer who was looking to lease land, and little did I know that it was a soldier that was still serving our country overseas. I realized then that I'm not the only crazy person that thinks that farming is an occupation. I'm actually spent a lot of time in New Bedford. My dad grew up in New Bedford on Pleasant Street, 2 blocks from Morse Cutting Tools, where his father was a machinist. And I grew up on the docks of New Bedford. I started working as a lumper back in 1980, was a commercial scallop fisherman for 4 years, and ran a processing plant here in New Bedford until the federal regulations made that impossible for me to continue. So I was in love with food, though, and the city of New Bedford and the fish, the bounty of the ocean allowed me to see the world, and that was a love of food, and I wanted that to continue. And the beauty of New Bedford is it's a melting pot. It's a very diverse community, and I don't think people realize how fortunate we are and the diversity and the bounty of food that is here that's fresh and local. And I'm just very happy to be part of that. I'm very happy that the city is doing everything they are to support local farming and to bring the farmers to the community. So keep coming out to support us. We look forward to seeing you every week. Thank you very much.
Wow, man. So we're not cutting a ribbon, but we're doing something better. So now we get to shop, right? If we haven't done that already. All right. So, but in all seriousness, let's spread the word about this farmers market, because it's really, if we got the space here, we've got the following, and as Mike and Scott said, it's really this is the greatest place to be doing this sort of thing. So let's have at it. Let's have fun with it too, because it is a great place to come on a Thursday evening. How late into the summer are we going to be doing it?
Till the end of October. So
Yeah.
October 31st is the last market on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's great.
So many more months.
Many more months. Lots of farmers markets to go. All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm Jose Mallory. This is the dip of the future. This is a dip that you can eat, cook, and make a drink with. There's 3 levels of spiciness, a mild and not too spicy in the hot, and it's all fruits and vegetables. And what you're eating is cabbage, pears, apples, onions, beets, carrots, lime juice, vinegar, parsley, and chili pepper. I had cancer, and I developed this from my mother and grandmother's cooking and created my own dip out of it. I was not an advocate for cabbage and onions, so I love to cook, and I took the concept of both my mother and grandmother and created my dip.
Hi, I'm Mike from Smackadoodles. We're a gourmet cinnamon roll company. So what we do is we take cinnamon rolls and we give them a little kick. So today, for example, at the market we had a chocolate peanut butter cup. It's got a peanut butter frosting, a Lindt chocolate drizzle with a chocolate peanut butter cup on top. We also had a lemon blueberry, which featured a blueberry filling, lemon frosting, fresh blueberries on top. Our savory today, which is really what kind of sets us apart from most cinnamon roll companies, is the fact that we do sweet and savory. So today, for example, we had an heirloom tomato with goat cheese. You heard me right, goat cheese. Goat cheese, cream cheese, it has garlic, it has herbs in it, it has a little bit of thyme in it, and then we top it with sliced heirloom tomatoes, do a sprig of thyme on top, and then we drizzle it with a balsamic vinegar.
Hi, I'm Scott Peets from Peets Farm. We sell chicken and duck eggs, whole chicken, and jams. And then in the fall, we'll have lamb as well. Food is what fuels our body, so I think it's very important to have quality, nutritious food, to fuel our body. And it's too easy to get cheap nasty food from the grocery store, and we're good. We're happy being able to be a choice of quality food.